to kick things off with the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. He's due in court tomorrow following his arrest in front of an ICE detention facility last week. Mayor Ras Baraka is a Democrat who is also running for New Jersey governor, facing trespassing charges after a tense confrontation between ICE agents and protesters outside of Delaney Hall, which is housing suspected illegal immigrants. Mayor Baraka, who denies he was trespassing, was held for several hours on Friday before being released. And Newark Mayor Ras Baraka joins us now. Mayor Baraka, great to see you. Thanks for joining us on Morning in America.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So we want to give you a chance to tell us exactly what happened. You say that this arrest, it was an effort to humiliate you, but then you went back to Delaney Hall yesterday. What's your specific issue with the Department of Homeland Security using that facility?
We don't have an issue with Department of Homeland Security. Our issue is with GEO Group, who is a private prison operator who, in fact, occupies that property, who owns it. It's not federal property at all. They have a contract to house detainees, but they have not applied for a certificate of occupancy. They do not allow our federal, inspectors in. We go there every single morning and we post the gate because they won't let us in because we're in court with them. That's basically what we do there every day. At 1 o'clock, I was called to come down there to participate in a press conference that the congressional delegation was holding after they had entry into the establishment. The guard of GEO allowed me on the property. He asked me to come in there, as a matter of fact. I did. I stayed in there for over an hour waiting right there at the gate until Homeland Security arrived and began to target and harass me. They instructed me to leave. I did eventually. And when I left, they came on the other side of the gate anyway after a phone call they received and arrested me.
And what do you know about the folks inside? So, these are suspected illegal immigrants. Are these gang members? Are these, farm workers and service workers just searching for a better life in America? Or are these dangerous people?
Well, actually, we have no idea who they are. They're not being transparent. We don't know who's in there. And that's one of the reasons we want to get in there. We need to know how many people are in there, if there's women, if there are children, if there are families in there. It's part of the certificate of occupancy. Anybody that builds a building or owns a building or purchases one, you need a certificate of occupancy. You have to declare the use of the building and all of those things. They refuse to do that, violating state and local laws. And they don't have the right to do that. And neither does Homeland Security have a right to protect them from local and state laws. They just don't have the right to do it.
Well, you have said that you have a right to follow the law. Everybody needs to follow the law, of course. But what about the folks who came in here illegally, allegedly? Don't they need to follow the law when they come in and do things the right way as well?
Yeah, everybody that comes to this country, while they're in this country trying to become a citizen, they can be deemed illegal. People are waiting for citizenship for 6 to 7 years, maybe 8. If you're not a Native American, somebody in your family came here undocumented. And as a result of that, you were born and naturalized as a citizen of the United States. As you waited for citizenship in this country, you could be deemed illegal. And that's what's going on here. This kind of conversation we're having about illegality is too broad, and it's used to divide Americans and residents of this country. Being a criminal who committed a crime as opposed to robbing and killing versus somebody who's waiting for citizenship is completely different. It is unconstitutional to arrest, detain, and remove people without due process who are waiting to become citizens of the United States, specifically if they've begun a program or a process to do that.
Mayor Baraka, I've just got to get your thoughts on this, where we need to wrap things up. But all of this is unfolding in your city as the United States is really watching this with all the issues with air traffic controllers and ground stops and cancellations there. Right. Who deserves blame for what's happening?
Well, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. I mean, when the Trump administration first came in, they started firing 400 people from FAA. They started blaming it on DEI as opposed to hiring more air traffic controllers, getting the problem done on the ground as they got in, began to fix the infrastructure. That didn't happen. And so now we're in this difficult situation. And now they are trying to do that. And I applaud them for hiring more air traffic controllers, for trying to take care of the infrastructure here. But the reality is we need to get this thing under control immediately, not 5 years, not 5 months, but yesterday. We need to get this thing under control, put some air traffic controllers in there now slow some of the flights down until we get this thing under control.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.